Hi folks, Steve Dawson here, coming to you from Nashville. Happy 2022, and welcome to my first Hawaiian deep dive of the year. I'm going to do a bunch of these because I've lately been brushing off a bunch of these old tunes. I've collected Hawaiian music for years, been really into it, and the Hawaiian music that I'm super interested in is pre-World War II. So basically from the 20s up through the early 40s, they were making a lot of acoustic Hawaiian music, which is wildly different from the Hawaiian music that everybody knows today. Which I'm also interested in. There's a lot of great steel guitar music that happens through the 50s and 60s and slack key guitar and all this stuff. But this is a different thing. This was sort of party jazz music that was being recorded by all these bands in the late 20s, all through the 30s and through the early 40s. And the main instrument on a lot of this stuff is this national trichone, which I have sort of a version of. This is a legit national trichone. I've had this for 20 plus years, but it's a round neck, which it means you play it like a normal guitar. But I added one of these $10 nut extenders, which you can see right there. So this is sort of my piecemeal Hawaiian guitar, but you get 90% of the way there. I also played a lot of Hawaiian music over the years on this Weissenborn lap steel. Basically, it's got a hollow neck. But the problem with these is they're not loud enough. And so that's why they failed ultimately, and that's why Weissenborns disappeared and why the trichones were invented. They've got 3 metal resonator cones in here that almost work like acoustic speakers. And these guitars are obnoxiously loud. And that's why they were cool. And so some of the great players of and writers of these tunes are people like Saul Ho'opi'i, King Bennie Nawahi, Sam Koo West, Irene West, Royal Hawaiians, Jim and Bob, all these great bands that very few people have heard of. And I'm going to just pick away at some of these tunes and show them to you. So this first one I'm going to do is by one of my favorites, probably my favorite guitarist of the era. His name was King Bennie Nawahi. And he was an incredible guitarist that recorded in a lot of different formats. He had a bunch of different bands, and he recorded as a solo artist. A lot of cool, crazy instrumentals, and this is one of them. It's a very odd little song. A lot of these songs in this style they're influenced by jazz in that they have some 20s, 30s jazz chord changes, but the song forms are really unusual, and this is a good example of that. This is called Honolulu Bound. I did record this about 20 years ago on an album of mine called Bug Parade. It showed up as like a little hidden track at the end. But I've always loved this song. It was one of the first ones that I learned to play. It's a tricky one, and I hope you enjoy it. This is called Honolulu Bound.